ever wish that you had an instruction manual for all those insignificant moments in your life? Somewhere that answers the questions you've always thought but never bothered to ask. Welcome to Patchwork is here to help you navigate the nuances of everyday interactions. And today, we'll be teaching you how to wait in a line. So grab your knitting needles and a blanket because it's time for three old friends to sit around and sew a new patch into their quilt of life. So join me, Dion, under the covers with Christian.
Welcome to Patchwork.
And Josh.
Welcome to Patchwork. Oh God, I'm busting. How slow is this bartender? I was definitely ahead of that guy. Yeah, come on, join us. We're right near the front. I can't believe that asshole just cut in front of us. This lawn chair will keep my spot in line. Get stuffed. I've been camping out here for 4 days. Did none of you people ever learn how to wait in a line? That's what we're discussing today, waiting in lines. And one of the big things that I wanted to touch on first, Dion.
Yes.
When you approach a line for the first time, what are you noticing? What are you assessing?
What am I noticing? Well, it really, for the first thing I'm noticing, the length of the line. Very basic, very obvious.
Length is huge.
Length is huge and important with everything. And the length of the line, that's the first thing I'm noticing. And my first instinct is, is this the best line? Am I in the best line? Is it the only line? Are there other comparative lines?
Well, I guess that is probably the very first step is what kind of line is it?
Yeah, what have I got myself into?
Yeah, what am I about to get myself into?
And there are so many different types of lines, aren't there?
I've got a few. What I've worked out, you've got the single boy.
Yep.
Very clean cut, very straightforward, one big line.
Yep.
Then you've got like a mess of a line, which I'd call your classic, your bar, where it's a bit of a thrust of people.
Good.
There's no real order to it. And then you've got a multi-stream.
Ooh.
And so you've got, say, at a supermarket, right, where you've got like 5 to choose from and you've got to pick the right one. Is there any other kind of lines?
Oh, it sounds like a good 3 lines.
Okay.
There is a virtual line.
Oh, like on the phone call
Like on the
something.
phone call, which I think is like, it can be the best line, but we'll go into that in a little bit more detail later on. Josh, is there a particular line that you find challenging? The single line is simple, right?
The single line is simple, but you have zero control over your destiny. And that's what I don't like about a single line.
Yep.
The mess of a line, I feel, can be too inequitable. And so the multi-stream, I feel like you're taking your life in your hands and that gives you the best chance of success.
Wow.
Really?
It's a good point. It's a choose your own adventure with that.
But hang on a second. If you were cunning enough, wouldn't you make the most of the mess? Like at a bar,
Yes.
If you didn't respect the fact that the onus is on the individual to remember the order of the line and to be polite, that when the bartender goes, who's next? You go, it was actually Josh was ahead of me.
Yes, I agree that you probably have more way to work the line to your advantage in a mess of a bar, but I sometimes feel uncomfortable with that.
Can I ask, are you cutthroat in a line? In any line. Let's just say line or queue now. Doesn't matter which one. Do you consider yourself cutthroat?
Well, it's the mindset of the person in the line. It's very, very I would say yes. I'd love not to be, because there's nothing like seeing someone let someone else through. For instance, you're at the supermarket.
Yes.
And you've got 2 items. Person in front of you has 400, and that person says, "Hey, just go ahead."
Yeah.
That is a lovely. That's a lovely gesture, because they really don't need to do that.
And that's not cutthroat behavior.
No,
that is generous behavior.
That's generous, absolutely generous. But cutthroat is, you're at Aldi and they open that second aisle. Oh my God.
I had a moment the other day where I was at Coles and an counter opened all the way down the line. I could see, and the guy looked generally in the direction of the 20 people with trolleys, and I, without blinking, looked at him in the eyes and just started rolling my trolley towards him because I knew other people saw it as well.
Is it a free-for-all in that situation? Do you have any duty to other people? So let's say the scenario is you got 6 people in one line. They open up the next one. You're third in line. Are you allowed to just go there if you're the quickest?
It's what happens, right?
Yeah.
It's what always happens.
What do you reckon, Josh?
It should ideally be the next person who was going to be served, right? But sometimes if they've already got their stuff on a bit, whatever, it's normally like, I feel that the general consensus is it's halfway point of the line. Just move that across.
Yes.
But what about...
But that's not what it is. It's the quick and the dead.
Yeah, right.
But
It
also,
is.
what about the person who's approaching that second line that's just opened up? They're not in any line at all.
Oh, that's hell.
Oh, God.
But
They are not allowed to pick it up.
hang on.
Yeah.
That's huge, Christian.
What? They can't pick it up?
No way.
I think that if they are the innocent bystander who's happened upon a line...
What are they going to
that
do?
sucks.
What are they going to do?
You in that situation, you would usher others through
I
in front
think
of you.
if someone's already been waiting in line, they deserve that spot.
You need a... So
You
this
didn't,
is...
Josh didn't answer the question then. You didn't answer the question. Would you just if you happen to be there, they open up the thing?
You know what you do? You do the courtesy look and you go, raise your eyebrows, but you go, is this...
No.
Are we okay?
Do you
That's
even
not
need to do that?
cutthroat.
I know. I'm not saying I'm cutthroat.
So you're not cutthroat.
I wouldn't say I'm cutthroat, but I'm switched on. I'm
Yes.
switched on in a way that other people are not, and it's very
Okay.
frustrating.
All lines need a captain. There needs to be someone who is looking out for improper behavior. Cutting in, splitting in the line. Lines require structure. You need
Lines-
expectations set. The moment that a line discombobulates,
Does what?
discombobulates.
Isn't the captain? Shouldn't the captain be the checkout person? Who's
I
calling
think,
the shots.
You know what the captain should be? The captain should be the little elasticated extenders.
the
Because
guide
that
ropes.
keeps like you get them at airports a lot.
Yes.
And it's like that will funnel the people into the weird maze-like structure.
Don't people get so angry in a line at the airport if you just, you let there be a gap ahead of you open up. Someone behind you's like,
What do you think of that?
move.
What do you think of that gap? Do you get frustrated with the gap?
I experienced this
Yeah.
on my trip to Bali earlier, and I sent you guys a photo of it.
Yeah.
Huge, whatever customs incoming line in Bali, like 4 different lines to choose from. I'll tell
Yep.
you my strategy shortly. But it was just a snaking line,
Yeah.
huge hall, massive hall,
Yeah.
decent amount of people, nowhere near full, right?
It's a single line as well,
Single
right?
line I was
Yeah.
in. You couldn't change.
Yeah.
And I would wait, because of COVID, for people to get a significant amount in front of me and then move and leave about 1.5 meters and then it'd move again. I don't wait when someone moves 30 centimeters to move up 30 centimeters. It got to the point, the woman behind me, her bag on wheels was literally next to my leg.
It's too close.
Next to my leg. And I
close.
looked down. I was like, that looks like my luggage. You've wheeled your luggage
That's
next
right.
to me.
Was she making a point?
I don't know, but I'm like, fucking chill out.
Yeah.
Like, relax. You're not getting there any quicker.
Yeah, I'd say to you now, fucking chill out. As well.
But it really was. And then my whole thinking was just around that.
But you have to respect the idea of space in a line, right? You can't be too close to the people in front of you or lagging a little bit. I think you just need to be aware of
But
the
why?
space.
But it's not like you're in a car and someone like you're in a road and someone can turn like if you leave too much of a gap.
But you
like,
can.
people.
You can sometimes if you have a good for nothing in the line who's on their phone and just forgets to look up, and then a break occurs.
But the break's
you could have
fine.
No, because then people can. Let's pretend there's no ropes on either side.
Okay.
Why? We're
You
talking
can
about
get-
airports.
We're not
There's ropes
talking about
everywhere.
lines.
Lines, Jeff.
But someone
everywhere.
could just cut in, and they are the innocent bystander
Here's a question.
who has joined the line that they think
I don't know this scenario you're talking about.
where someone is waiting in a long line and then they just kind of sitting there on their phone
Oh, wait.
and then a break opens in front of them.
I do know that.
Oh,
I do.
yeah,
I
it's
was
very-
I was that person a couple of weeks ago, and I cut in.
And that's when the captain calls out.
Well, here's a
Jeez.
question. How confident and comfortable are you calling out someone cutting in a line? Dion.
Oh, I reckon 10 years ago I would have been pretty trigger happy with it. And I remember.
What's your go-to?
I
and how far away are you? Let's establish that.
well, it's trying to be. Oh,
That's
sorry.
a very interesting point.
How far away am I?
So the question, Dion, let's say that someone cuts in front of you in the line.
Yep.
If you see that cut happen 6 spots ahead of you,
God, no.
You have
No.
no
But
responsibility there,
the problem
do
with
you?
that
No,
is
no.
it's still cutting in front of you.
It is,
It's
but-
cutting in front of everyone behind
It
them.
is,
Yes.
but you have to heighten your voice. Like it doesn't
You're gonna
work.
walk down the line and go, "Excuse me, sir,
Yeah, no,
I've
no.
come from the back of the line."
But I feel like
Whistle.
I'm thinking, last time I reckon I did it was I was at Baker's Delight, and I was clearly the next person that's when I used to get my bread from Baker's Delight. I've grown up to rye and sourdough. But there was a lady that clearly cut in front, and I just interrupted. I was like, excuse me, I think I was next. And she
Great
gave me-
phrase.
Yeah.
Perfect tone.
Yeah. Because you don't want to be
brilliant.
You don't want to be a dick about it either. But what about that thing when you look at the person next to you as well in another line, you're like, are you? Were you?
Yeah.
Are you? Are you?
It's a
Are you?
huge moment of
yes.
humanity.
It
That's
is.
humanity.
Yes.
In that moment, are you more likely to give up your spot?
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Christian, yeah.
but I think I would say that we all are. Surely you're not. If someone's like, "Oh, were you?" You're going to be like, "No, I was first," even
yeah.
if you're not sure.
I will know. So I will
Yes.
always know.
Really?
And I will always do
so
whatever
you're
is
assessing
accurate.
the moment so Josh, your first instinct when you're hitting a line is, who are the people in the line with me?
Yeah. Who are my competitors?
Yeah.
And who are my compatriots?
and that's the thing.
Who's with me and who's against me?
But if they're old, if it's an old man, are you more likely to be like?
Oh, yeah, huge. You have to add, that is an assessment that will be made.
Got to be right.
Yeah, and you will let them in.
No, depends where the old man is. If the old man is renting a car, let's say, I will go first. Because
Yeah.
I know that there's
that's-
going to be
that's
some
great.
enormous issues.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's going to take
But
longer.
if that's at the supermarket, go ahead.
Oh, really?
Go
But
ahead.
Old men can be quite. They can be quite slow. Self-checkout, they can be slow. Bloody
That's
hell.
true. Getting
Jesus.
stuck behind someone trying to do returns.
Oh.
When you realise that you've drawn the dud straw and someone's got a complex or complicated thing, it is agonising.
And sometimes you have to boycott the line and join another line.
Boycott the line.
You might go,
That-
hey, this is going to take too
That
long. I'm
is
going to.
such a big call.
It's a
that
huge call.
You need to back yourself in as an individual.
And I do, and I do, and I do, and I think that's. I'm big on making those big calls.
Yeah.
That's a
Ooh.
very important thing you got to do.
a recent one I had was, you know how...
Tell us about your big call, Josh.
You know how when you're at Kmart, there's like hardly any staff. It's really weirdly staffed, right? I was in the lay-by area, which is near the electronics, and I wanted a particular adapter for something. And I
Yes.
was like, cool, I'll wait and ring the bell or something. And I waited for a bit. So it wasn't a queue, right? And I was there. I was like, this is taking too long. I'm not going to bother with this. And then I left. And then some more people rocked up with some actual like lay-by stuff. And they were standing there. I was like, I had the choice that I was like, I'm not waiting any longer. I'm leaving. They would have just been stuck there as long as they needed.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
had to sit there and wait.
I think, well, that's my thing. When I first approach a line, I think I'm working out, do I really need to be in this line?
Yes.
Like, let's take it all the way back to when we spoke about Gelato Messina, right? So often,
Free for all.
everyone goes, let's go for ice cream after dinner. And they go, well, Gelato Messina, you know, that's one of the popular ones.
Yeah.
There's always such a big line there, and you are forced to confront the question, is ice cream worth this weight?
Yes.
It's a free for all there. There's
Yeah.
no that they disregard any rules to do with lines.
There's
They're
a
like,
line outside,
we don't need
but
a
then
line. We're
inside
Gelato
it just
Messina.
falls apart. It's anarchy.
We'll blast people's ears off with shit music.
So when you get to that, let's call it the Gelato Messina-esque line,
Sure.
how long is too long?
The Messina line.
Yes.
Because are you kind of doing a rough head count?
Yeah, so it's not a rough head count. I'd say if the line stretches beyond the width of the restaurant,
Great. If it's into the next property
if
over.
it's into the next
yeah.
property, I don't want to be in that line.
But does the line then get so big where you're like, this has got to be good, right? This has got to be good.
Well, that's it. It's like the question to us is, what is the line that you're prepared to be in for a long time?
Well, I'll tell you my little factors, and I'd like to know if you guys agree with this. The things I'm looking for when assessing a long line. This is just talking about.
Is this a rule?
This is going to be. We'll get
hang on,
to the
hang on.
rules.
I want to hear the factors first before the rule.
So we're a nice long.
Writing rules willy-nilly lately, and I'm just not up for it.
William Dilliam. we got a nice long line, and I've got to assess: is this worth my time? I'm
Yes.
looking at, can I see the start point of the line? I need to find and assess where is the start point of this
Surely,
line.
right?
Get eyes on target. Where's
Yes.
the start of the line?
Yep.
The next thing I'm looking for, which I think is underappreciated, the speed of the line.
That's huge.
How quick
Very
are we
big factor.
moving through? Are people actually getting through? And the third that I think most people do not give a shit about
There it is.
I'm looking for groups. I'm looking for groups
wow.
and singles and
Wow.
individuals.
Well done.
Wow.
That is just
because
Dion, may I?
absolutely.
when assessing a line, always assess groups.
And and when assessing a rule, always check with Dion.
So what I'm looking for with the groups is if you've got a group of 4, that doesn't inherently mean 4 orders.
Yes.
Right?
That could be a quicker transaction.
Okay, so Josh, airport, family. What do you reckon? They're checking it, they're dropping in their bags?
That is a huge assessment, as Christian was
Yes.
saying earlier. Are
Yeah.
they going to be difficult? Are they going to be complicated?
What do you reckon? Is a
Kids
fam-
adding complications always.
Yes, they
Do you
are.
get a single person or like a cool, we're a blogging couple
Yeah.
that travel all the time?
Oh, they're through there.
Oh, they know what
Yeah.
they're doing.
Smart.
But
you know?
God, they're annoying on YouTube, aren't
Yeah.
they?
Oh, it's just a drone. Sorry.
But with the groups, unless they're all going to be doing something when they hit the front of the line, get out of there. Stop grouping in a line. It frustrates me.
But they all want to
You
sit
need-
together.
But no. But what I'm
You only need one
I love
representative.
that you've just put one type of line.
Yeah,
they all want to
airports
sit
all
together.
We've discriminated against old men in groups. What's
No,
next?
I'm thinking of the Messina line, right?
Yeah,
where or just any line where, let's say we're going to the cloakroom and one person's cloaking, but there's 4 people who all just want to chat.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah.
All of a sudden, my assessments...
It's off.
I go, well, what about the speed? And I go, well, there's a group of 4 there. Are they all going to have to
He's
cloak?
only got a singlet on.
I'm all over the place. What's he cloaking?
Says Christian with his cloak, his actual cloak. Come with me.
Hey, where are you putting that little cloak ticket, by the way?
In your pocket.
Would you have a
Wallet. Got to be wallet.
wallet, Christian?
In my pocket.
Which
Just
one?
loose in the pocket.
Yeah, loose in the pocket.
What's wrong with... look,
Because often throughout the night, I want to be able to feel it.
Best thing I ever did, take a photo of it as soon as you get it, then you don't have to worry so
Oh,
much.
bloody
Whoa.
hell. Oh, bloody
Take
hell.
a photo, get it on your phone,
Jesus.
then lose your phone, keep the ticket.
Josh.
Oh, God.
When receiving a ticket for a cloaked item, first thing you should do is take a photo of it.
I like that.
And do it with receipts as well.
Yes.
Do it with everything. Do it with... If you buy a house, take a photo of it. Just make sure... if you're going to lose your house...
I really need to make a sound effect for this. It's got to be the Christian's apps or something. Great app ideas.
Yeah.
And I know that it exists, but there's got to be a better app for taking photos of receipts that looks at the receipt, says, here are all the fields, and then uploads it into your Excel spreadsheet for your budget.
It's gotta
exists.
be.
It exists. And Patchwork has a subscription to one.
Do we?
It's called For Receipt.
But does it do all of what I said?
Nope.
Well, now it is time for the team of the century. And today's team of the century, it's one you've all been waiting for. It's the team of the century for the high school pencil case.
Oh, wow.
It's what they've all been waiting for because
first
they've
time.
never heard.
So the idea of team of the century is we're going to pick a little topic and we're going to come up with the best team, the best group for that. We're doing the high school pencil case here.
The creme de la creme.
And I'd like
Yep.
to kick us off. I'd like
Yes,
to kick us
please,
off.
Josh.
I think you've got to have a little squad
Yes.
of plain blue Bic pens.
Plain
blue Bic.
pen.
That's not in your team of the century in a high school pencil case?
I would say, I think, Josh, could I raise you up one? Could I
Sure.
posit that you take your big pens and we bring into the team a 4 pen?
yeah,
There
the
you go.
4 clickers on
There
my
you
team
go.
of the
Thank
century.
you so
Well
much.
done.
All right,
Now,
well, let's
absolutely.
bring the
Now
4
we've
pen
really
in.
hit our straps. I'm actually going to talk about the pencil case itself.
Oh.
Back in the day. What
coach.
What about what about the lettering?
The letters.
The lettering.
Oh,
The paper
huge.
letters in the slits.
team.
Not that great for people with their thick names because I think it was probably
Yeah.
only 6 or 7 letters that you
Yep.
could fit in there. But love that.
Here's a question. Are you going regular name or joke?
I never considered joke.
considered the joke.
Nah. Christian?
You didn't go doin?
I don't think so. Did you have that, Christian?
No, what I did was I would always have a tartan pencil case and then I
think
would
tied one as well.
and then I would
piss
white
off.
and then I'd white out my name on the outside of it.
Oh, with
Wow.
whiteout.
So that'll be a sub, but I like the idea of having the pencil case with the cardboard lettering.
well, that leads us to
Yes.
is your whiteout in your
Yeah.
team of the century?
Well, is it in your current team of the century or was it in your previous team of the century?
Well, we're just picking the team of the century.
Well, it's just the team of the century. Whatever
I mean,
happens,
there's one
happens.
team.
And hang on.
Which century are you
And-
talking about?
And white out the liquid
got
or
a candle.
the liquid
Yeah.
or the tape.
Get that fucking tape out of here.
Yeah.
It's the white out. It's the glue.
What's
it's
wrong
the,
with
it's the goo.
What's wrong with the tape?
I don't want to. I don't want a bar of it. It's too modern.
You need
It's
a
not
bar of
it's
it.
a tape.
It's too modern. It works. I agree that it works.
I don't think it works.
It's nice. It's very nice.
I think the tape. If we're going to put one whiteout in the
Yeah.
team of the century, it's got to be the tape. It's so much cleaner and beautiful.
Ah,
but
it's-
actually, the thing I didn't consider:
we're talking about icons.
how much more fun is it drawing
Yeah.
shit?
That's
with the-
right.
yeah, sorry, it's got to be for me.
Icon.
Yeah, it's got to be the liquid one.
But then
Okay.
again, like when you use that liquid tape, like just looking at the back of the, when you use the liquid whiteout, looking at the back of the paper, trying to work out what's written, it's hard reading backwards, isn't it? It's bloody hard.
Yep.
Which
Invisible
brings
ink.
me to the mirror.
Team of the century, Dion's bringing the mirror in. I'm not having a bar of that.
A mirror in the backpack.
I may well be the only person that brings a brand into this. I just think that, was it the Stabilo highlighter?
Stabilio.
Stabilio.
Stabilo boss? Stabilio boss?
boss, yeah.
But
Stabilio
that-
boss.
that-
Yellow.
Yellow.
And the ends must be stained black.
The edge on that thing is just, it's like a knife edge,
It's
but
stunning.
highlighter.
Nothing
it's,
compares.
It's a stunning edge.
I think we can all agree though. Yellow
Yellow
is in the team of the
highlighter
century.
is in the team of the
100%.
century.
Yeah, I guess.
And who's a substitute? Orange?
Orange or green. Green.
And that's
Blue-
when we lost respect
He's on
for
the bench.
Josh.
He's on the bench.
Blue was too
Blue can
dark.
Get out of
But,
here.
but why is that too? It's just a color, isn't it? Isn't
Yeah,
it
but
just-
yellow is the highlight.
I love it. If you're
Yeah.
on, if you're watching us on YouTube, look at Christian's fucking top. He looks like a highlighter.
I have another member to bring in, and I think it's essential. Now, hear out the whole idea. It's a pencil, great, but the pencil at the end has a little bit shaved off where you've written your name, and it's also got a grip on the other end for your fingers.
Oh my god!
But it's a normal HB kind of deal.
It's a normal HB.
They are two concepts I've not thought about in 25 years.
And tell me that isn't in the team of the century.
Do you know what? I think it's Captain. And then a little blazer we put on the HB pencil.
Well, I was going to offer, I wasn't fully sold on the pencil because with the pencil comes great responsibility, but also comes a rubber, right?
Oh,
so you've
yes.
so it's a 2-for-1. Or you can go the pacer.
I'm so glad you brought it
You
up.
can go the pacer, and then you've got the rubber on the end of the
But
pacer.
we're talking
Yeah.
about the team of the century.
Yeah.
A pacer you're talking about the best.
What's wrong with the
Yes.
pace? Wait, but you probably
But-
use shit pacers.
But I'm thinking iconic.
Okay.
No. Pacers are amazing. I agree. But they were for the rich kids.
Well, this is the patchwork team of the century, so we can have whatever guidelines we wish.
that's true. Stop being so disrespectful
I'm
to
sorry.
other
No,
people's
so
items.
I'm leaning towards the idea of the iconic items.
Thank
do
you.
we, do we need a sharpener?
was gonna say.
We need a sharpener. And
small
do we
one.
want do we want
Small one.
Here's- okay.
plastic or metal?
I think if we're going single barrel,
Yeah.
we're going a small metal.
Yes,
Feel the
yeah.
weight. Feel the weight.
Yes.
Double barrel?
If we're going double barrel, bring it big and small. Who's ever using the big one on the double barrel?
Yeah,
I
no
don't
one.
think anyone is.
Get plastic double barrel out.
Well-
Whoa.
Plastic double barrel out. Small metal in.
Are the big ones for maybe not pencils? Were they for crayons or something? I'm not saying a crayon's going in there.
No.
No. Don't be silly. Don't be silly.
But that brings me to Josh, the eraser. If it's going to make it into the team, it has to be the red-blue double-sided
No
eraser.
way.
No.
way.
You have to be confused.
I see.
Who is going?
Christian has
White.
a different concept of this whole thing, and I think it's
Gotta
better
be
than
plain
ours.
white. Plain white, big chunky
I love,
boy.
and does it have writing on every side? Yes,
okay.
no, maybe.
Oh, that's right. You'd flip it over and roll it on the table.
Am I making this a better game than you two
Yes,
want it
I
to be?
think you are, and it wasn't even your idea.
Here's one. I think one last one for the team of the century.
Yep. Here we go.
It's got to be a plastic ruler, plastic clear ruler.
Oh, yeah.
Purely for the
Yeah.
ability to hang it half over the edge of the table and go.
Yep. It's a wonderful idea, Josh. Well done.
Should we recap the team of the century?
Absolutely.
Let's hit the music. Okay, I think for the team of the century, for the pencil case, we have the 4-clicker pen. We have the small single sharpener. We have the rubber, the
Yes, the
two-tone
two-sided
rubber.
rubber, yep.
We got the letter. We got the highlighter, yellow highlighter. Help me out here, guys.
There's a pencil, shaved end,
Yes.
little rubber grip at the other
that's
side.
lovely. And the ruler. We got the plastic,
plastic
ruler. You said that
ruler.
right.
We've got a pencil case with the lettering on the
lettering. Yep,
outside.
Yep. And we don't have a pacer, apparently.
No,
get the
no.
pacer
Pacer didn't
out.
make the cut.
No, it's on
But
the
anyway,
bench.
that's tonight's Team of the Century. And now it's time for Oh Wow of the Week.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. It's actually Brussels sprouts. Wow. Not Brussels sprouts. It has long been popular in Brussels, Belgium, from which it gained its name.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Josh, something that you have over the rest of us right now is you get to experience a line from the other side. As a bartender,
I tend the bar.
You can tell us all about your experience with the disheveled gelato Messina line.
So the bar I'm at there's probably 2 or 3 service areas, and then it's just a mess of people as they approach.
Yeah.
And when it's really busy and you're in the zone, you're not fully engaging with the depth of the line. You know when it's busy and there's a lot of people, but often if I'm there and I'm doing the drinks, it's like eyes up, what do you want, down, da-da-da.
Yep.
My peripheral will get a sense of who's where and who's doing what, and I will kind of, if I'm aware of it, I'm like, cool, I'm pretty sure you were next, pretty sure you were next. I rarely will leave it up to them. I won't go, who was next? I'll just be like, yep, and if they want to go this person, do it. Otherwise, that
Interesting.
person. When it's busy, not enough time.
You know, the first thing I thought about then is when a batsman hits a ball in cricket, and someone in the field catches the ball, but then you look on the replay and the ball hits the ground. You can't trust the fieldsman, and in this case, you can't trust the fieldsman. Why don't you leave it up to people? Wouldn't it be more
because
fun?
it slows down the pace. When it's really busy, it's just like you got to get it through. The thing that annoys me the most, and this is the one takeaway I want to have to people: pay attention. Pay attention. The worst thing is
They're all
when
drunk.
No, but when like you're waiting and someone finishes. And there's 3 people just standing there, not paying attention, looking around. I'm like, hurry
But
up.
surely that's-
I'm ready for service.
But then they lose their spot in the line,
Is that
right?
what you say? Josh just on the YouTube just threw up his arms. I'm ready for service.
I know, literally, it will be, I get annoyed and I go,
But that's-
yes, who's next, please?
But
Yes.
that's the perfect opportunity to punish them.
Yeah, no, what I do is what happens is...
Oh my God, a
This is-
punitive bartender.
This is
Yes.
what happens a lot of the time when someone who I'm like, clearly you weren't next.
Yes.
This person's lollygagging.
Yes.
And I'll look at the person who's paying attention and go, yep. And they go, oh, I wasn't next. And I'm like, get in here.
Yeah.
You're in.
You're in,
Don't
they're
feel
out.
bad. Don't
And then-
feel bad.
But then what happens if the person at the front was like, actually, I was next? You go, you've lost your spot, mate.
It doesn't come up. It's like,
You're out.
Too bad. Because
You're out.
They're not...
Get security in.
They don't pay enough attention. They don't even know.
Yeah.
Josh, what is in that whole experience, what's your favorite part of bartending? Is it making the drink? Is it picking out the person from the line? Is it talking? Is it having little small, like, what's that? What's the bit? Or is
point.
it the whole package?
I think it's like a fun environment to be in. I like the fast pace, the speed of it. So shifts go very quickly. There's a lot of fun music. It's a cool event, all that kind of stuff.
Can I also say, in the job that I'm currently in, it's a new job, and what I reminisce about when I worked at hospitality is how productive you can feel with these micro interactions where you get a sense that every single thing you've done, look at the immediate result of it. Here's the outcome. I've given you a drink. You're happy. Here's the money. That's complete.
Yeah.
Transaction complete.
Yeah.
That's very mindful of you. That's such an interesting way of looking at it.
I really thoroughly enjoyed working in hospitality.
it's great.
I find it bizarre that that's not your full-time job. You talk about hospitality too much. Way too much, and how much you love it. I remember your ideal, like meeting a meeting a partner was someone in the hospitality industry, hospitality or service industry. This is like your dream. Realize the dream, Christian.
But maybe one day you have to have money to do what you want to do, though, don't you? And that's why you got to work for the man. And that man makes you wait in lines.
The online digital queue.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually online digital queue is an interesting one because my favorite queue would be when you're on the phone to like a support thing, but they let you know what the estimated wait time is. That's fantastic because it allows you to do whatever you want to do in that time. Anything.
Would you prefer, Dion, the knowledge that it's 45-minute wait or that you're 12th in the queue?
Oh, that is.
What would you prefer?
Sophie's choice.
That is.
Yeah.
That is very, very good. I mean, if it was a Sophie's choice situation, I'd probably want more life than less. But I think maybe
gotta be time, right?
It's time because sometimes it gets stuck on that number 9. What the fuck are they asking?
Yes. Yeah.
But time is beautiful.
Have you ever been, as I have, on the other side of that queue, taking the calls?
Oh, that's a good
So I used to work at Luxury Escapes in the call center, and there's like a monitor that says there's this many people in the queue, and it kind of gets red and stuff, and it's like there's this many people talking on calls, and so like the bigger the queue gets, the more it's like fucking hurry up, guys.
How was
come on.
that? Was
That's
it?
how I hated it. It's like worst job I've ever had.
Really?
Everything was tracked. Everything was timed. Get up to the toilet, clock off. Go to the toilet, come back, clock back on. Because it was like you always need to be on the queue taking calls. It just sucked,
Wow.
and I wasn't very good at it. Yeah. It was a sales job, and I was more interested in like
Talking to the people.
getting them what they wanted.
Or going to the toilet.
But yeah, on the other end of it, it's interesting that like there's the computer systems are all built for that, right? And I don't know how the messaging works on the other end. Oh, here's a little tip for everyone if they didn't know. If you're in live chat with someone, if you type things into the box, they can read what's in the box even before you hit enter.
Another thing, here's a little tip for everyone. If you're in a live chat or if you're on the phone and it's a voice recognition thing, just say the word operator and you'll get put through to a person.
Really?
How good's that?
What?
Operator in like a bot, straight through to the person.
The DJ Koze song, Operator.
Operator.
Straight through.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful song.
See, speaking of favorite and most least favorite lines, good and bad ones. One of my most hated lines,
Yes.
the toilet line.
Oh, God.
Can't stand it.
Too many. So you've got a few things happening there, don't you?
Number one, this is just a bodily function that I need to get done with.
Yep.
It's not enjoyable. I'm not
Yep.
looking forward to it. I want to get back to whatever I'm at. I'm at
Yep.
a party. I'm at a gig, whatever.
Yep.
I want to get back there.
Yes.
That's like the first shit thing about it. The next shit thing, you're busting probably.
Yes.
Because you've held off on it.
Can I just call something out? 3 people that identify as male complaining about toilet lines. I just don't know if it cuts it.
We're not saying it's the worst, but when you have to go, you have to go. And if there's a line,
Yeah, it's shocking.
it sucks.
Good
But
point,
it's
point.
universal. Everyone hates the toilet
well
line.
diffused.
Yeah.
But I hate...
But we do, the fact that there are urinals, agree.
But I can't use urinals.
Yes.
You can't.
I'm pee shy. I can't handle it.
Christian, are you
Yeah.
pee shy? I've talked about
Depends.
this.
Yeah. At the MCG, sometimes if you've got
Everyone's
a lot
pee
of
shy there.
you got a lot of drunk men who are just kind of whacking their willies around.
Yeah. It really hurts.
Yeah. It's chaos.
So I think that's my... And I think one of the big reasons is there's no... it's not a positive thing I'm getting at the end. I'm not getting food. I'm not getting tickets. I'm not getting a drink.
You're getting
Yeah.
relief.
That's a good point, but I think...
And you can have a drink if you want to.
Two beds.
But also, one of the unknowns of the toilet line is, what are you walking into?
Yeah, great.
Sometimes
It's like
you
downtown
walk.
Beirut.
Is that referencing something? What is that reference?
For the castle,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, it's really good.
But yeah, you can walk into just a literal shitstorm.
Yeah.
And at that point,
It's true.
you either have to really just cop it.
Do you want to see, Christian, if you could walk...
She was so distressed. They're trying to work.
But I
You just
imagined
gotta,
it in my head. I'm like, well, cool. If you're not someone who likes to be at the urinal and you need to go to the actual cubicle,
Yeah.
what happens when those cubicles have people? What do you?
Chaos.
You know what you can't do in a toilet? You can't say, "Oh, excuse me, how long are you going to be?"
You can't talk
You
in the
can't
toilet.
talk to anyone in the cubicle.
That'd be amazing to ask that question.
Excuse me, I really have to go.
Christian,
One.
Would you like a floor plan of the toilet before you enter it? If there's a little floor plan there.
We've mentioned it a couple of times.
Are you kidding me? We've mentioned a floor
No,
plan of the toilet?
Wait a
Episode
second.
109?
Hear
That's ridiculous.
It's the patchwork toilet floor plan.
I can't do anything unique on the show anymore.
We've spoken about this idea before. What I'd like to see is like the green, the red, and the amber lights above the toilet.
Yeah.
So that when they are kind of mid-wipe, it shows you amber. Right?
Or what about like a stink rating as well? Because that's one of the biggest shocks you get. It's a massive shock. You know? And when you open that cubicle, open that toilet lid, oh my God, it can be holy hell, can't it?
Yes.
Holy hell, like in Beirut.
Do you know what? All I want to see is a semi-dry floor.
Yep.
I want to see toilet paper where it needs to be.
Yep.
Where's that?
And I want and I want to see a lid on the toilet, like an actual seat. Sorry,
Sounds like a rule to
toilet
me.
seat. I want to see when entering a toilet. I want to see a somewhat dry floor, toilet paper where it needs to be, and a toilet seat.
And a pube on the seat.
It's a good rule. What about some of the other lines? Dion, do you have any favourites or most hated?
Any favourite? I think, as I was saying, I think my favourite line, that telephone queue is one of my favourites. I think that the no bag line, when you don't... hang on. Qualification, when you don't have a bag,
right?
is
Sounds
great.
like a Alanis Morissette song.
Any kind of express line that you fall into that category is huge.
Yes.
Yeah, it's massive.
Yeah.
Huge.
Then again,
Whereas the inverse of that, when you have the bag, having to then walk to the cloak line is one of the worst lines.
Yeah, and isn't it ironic?
Don't you think? Another line that I absolutely hate is the
I thought you were going to say another line of Alanis Morissette, which I really, really like.
I'm sure Alanis wouldn't like this either. It's the line when you have to wait to try on clothes.
Oh, yeah.
When you have
wasted downtime, right?
eight items and you're in that time, the longer that you have in that line, the more time you go, I probably don't need to buy these. I'll just try them on another time.
Do you feel, Christian, a responsibility when you're trying on the clothes to sort of hasten up and be quick? Or is it
Absolutely, which is horrible.
When it's wrong, when it's long, when you know it's a long line.
Yeah.
And if you got like 7 items, let's say, you're like, I don't want to be in this cubicle for 10 minutes.
I haven't been able to ever take 7 items into a thing. I think you're going above your limit.
At
Don't
H&M,
get defensive,
at
Christian.
Zara,
Come on.
you can basically take whatever you want. You can wear the clothes out of the store.
Have you done that before?
Worn the clothes out, like to steal them?
Yeah, and just say, I'm just going to wear these for the day.
No,
Oh,
buy a
no,
new one.
no.
Nah,
Would you do it
Never
with
done that.
shoes?
Ooh,
You'd do it with
maybe,
shoes, wouldn't you?
Maybe.
They'd
Probably
have
not.
You'd have to be wearing. Yeah, I'm never leaving the house with something so uncomfortable that the thing that I'm buying is
Yeah.
like, get these on me.
Yeah,
Well,
true,
that's an
true.
interesting point what you made about you feeling you need to speed up when you're there. What kind of lines, like if you're at a big busy bar or a whatever place and you get to the front of the supermarket, are you aware that this is a long line, I got to speed up? Or are you like, finally, this is my time, I've waited my time, I get to take as long as I want, I'm not going to rush, I'm not going to speed because I waited in line for 40 minutes.
Wow.
Interesting.
Especially like the toilet or something like any of those kind of lines. I feel like there's very few that I just kind of feel like, well, I'm here now and I get to do my thing as long as it takes.
I kind of know what you mean. It's like waiting for the doctor. And if the doctor
Yeah.
takes ages and they're
Yes.
delayed, it's kind of like you
Yes.
know that they're going to wait. They're going to spend
Awesome.
some good time with you, right?
Great example. The doctor or
The waiting
bank.
room. Or
the bank.
But what about the waiting room? Happy, is that a line?
It
Or
is.
is that another episode?
That is a line.
It is a line.
But,
yeah.
but isn't there some different mental shift
Yes.
because you don't know, and all you're doing is quietly assessing, you came in after me.
Totally.
Here.
But it doesn't matter because there's
Their appointment time could
their
be
appointment
different.
time. So it's very discombobulating, as
It really
Christian would say.
Certainly is.
They're still
Yeah.
persisting with magazines, aren't they?
Yeah, they do.
Get rid of them. Everyone's got a phone.
Everyone's got a phone, right? That's the first thing that comes out. And in a line for me as well, the first thing that comes out is
the
the
phone.
first
That's
thing
the
that comes
thing.
out is my phone because, can I just say, and this is probably a rule, line conversation sucks.
I mean,
Don't try having deep and meaningful conversations in a line.
Who's
You're
doing
gonna
that?
get nowhere.
Someone outside of your party or within your party?
within your party. If you're in a group, just have transient chat because
interesting.
Because my focus
could
is
be
elsewhere.
it could be
I'm in the
interrupted at
line.
any
Like I said, I'm the captain. I got my hat on. I'm looking for cuts. I'm looking for structural issues.
Whistle at the ready.
so the executive part of your brain is being utilized for that, and you
Absolutely.
just don't. You can't do conversation.
I don't care you've been feeling depressed lately. Shut up.
Shut up, we're in a line right now.
But Captain,
I think one of the biggest factors, though, for me that I realized when I was thinking about this, a big determiner for that line is the general crowd of that line. That will be huge for me. So, for instance, when I'm at a Meredith or a Golden Plains or most gigs with like an audience that you feel you kind of know, you're like, these are all good people. This is going to be fine. This is going to be great. I could chat to someone about some bullshit and it's going to be a good time.
That's interesting.
Whereas like an airport or like some random thing, you're like,
It's
we're
high,
all
well, it's
over
high
the shop.
stress. All those situations are high stress. Apart from the gig, that's a leisure
right,
thing.
it's a really good
so
point.
maybe there's a difference with the leisure line. Maybe there's
Leisure
a leisure
line.
line, and maybe there's like the more conventional get things done line.
Can I have a rule, please?
Yes.
The best kind of line is a leisure line.
Yeah, give me a leisure line.
Give me a leisure line.
I'd love to. There are lines that feel leisurely, and then there's lines that can feel embarrassing. One of those lines is at the Melbourne Sexual Health Clinic.
Oh, wow.
That is somewhere that you try hiding the fact that you're in a line.
Yes.
So,
But you also know that no one there gives a shit, right?
no,
You're on
I
the
know,
same boat, right?
But but when you're waiting for your appointment,
Yeah.
you normally have to wait outside the front. And you see a lot of people trying to act casual, like they're not in the line.
I guess
They're just checking their phone.
I guess it
I
depends.
just happened to be.
I'm
here.
just leaning against a wall with a very sore cock.
I was going to say it depends what the appointment was for. What was your appointment for, Chris?
I was just
Shut up,
checking.
Dean, we're in a queue.
Just checking things out, getting a feel for the place.
Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Welcome to Patchwork. We're at 110. 110.
Ooh.
What's next?
It's binary.
It is. Is 111 binary as well, Christian?
Yes, it is.
And what else is binary? What else is binary this week?
1101.
That's true, Josh. That's also a binary configuration.
Look, we established a lot of rules, several rules. Don't remember them. Cycle back if you want to revisit them.
We're not going to do it for you.
We talked about what's the best line, what's the worst line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my most hated was the toilet line.
Yeah. And one of our favourite lines was
The leisure line.
the leisure line.
The leisure line.
I
And
think we talked about what are you assessing when you're assessing a line? Where's the start point? Are there groups? How fast is it going?
Structure. I love the rules that you set in place, Josh.
Thanks,
yeah,
mate.
well
The
done,
framework
Josh.
for
You
the
did
episode.
really well
Appreciate
with the
that,
rules
guys.
this week.
Dion is obsessed with airport lines and phone lines. I think we got.
Yeah, that's true. But as
Loves
long
the
as
phone queue.
long as the phone queue has a little indication of how long I'm going to be in the line.
And anytime you're in a line, don't talk to me.
do not talk to Christian.
Make it light.
up.
Light chat. That's all I want.
Light chat that can be interrupted. That's what you want, right?
That's not too much to ask for.
Christian, can I interrupt you and say we've got social media? We've got
course.
Patchwork. We've got we've got TikTok, we've got Instagram, we've got Facebook. What's your favourite one at the moment, Josh?
Patreon, because that helps
Yeah.
support the show.
Oh, yeah.
And actually
Patreon.
makes this project viable.
Yeah.
We're not joking. This is a heap of work to keep this up. So every single patron we have, every time you guys sign up, makes a huge difference to us and the ability to produce this show. So thank you to every single patron. We encourage you, jump on the Patreon website, have a look.
What's the URL, Josh? Patreon.com/welcome to Patchwork.
That's
Yes.
the one. That's the one.
We've got YouTube as well. That's fun at the moment as well. Check it out.
Yeah, you can get that on patreon.com/welcome to Patchwork.
And as we do every Patreon, we sew it. And as we do every week, we sew a new patchwork quilt into our quilt-a-lot this week. Josh, what patch did you sew into our Patreon quilt this week?
Thank you, Dion.
What Patreon did you sign up this week? Head to patreon.com/welcome
Dion's
to Patchwork.
broken.
Support us a couple of weeks $1.
This is what happens at 110. We'll get it right at 111. That's the new release.
Thank you, Dion. My patch this week was you waiting patiently in a line. Christian, what patch did you say this week?
Thank you very much, Josh. This week I sewed into my patch my secret pencil case team of the century inclusions, a captain's hat and a whistle. And Dion, what did you sew into your patch this week?
My patch this week is a press release from Cricket Australia announcing that they'll be rolling out the DRS or decision review system to every single big mess and multi-queue line in Australia. Thank you for listening to Welcome to Patchwork for another week. I've been Dion.
I've been Josh.
And I've been Christian.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.